Hello everybody, I'm Yolanda, aka Creative Mommy of 2, and welcome to part 8 of my WIP and chat working on so many books, so little time. So, as you probably will do, as I do with WIP and chat, grab your painting, coloring, knitting, cross-stitching, crocheting, whatever it is you are doing, and have a ramble with me. Well, have a listen to me. I'm the one rambling here. At least knowing me, I probably will be rambly. Let's see, which color will we start with? That one. 640. Here we go. Well, how was your week this week? I hope it all went well. Mine was, well, as always, kind of the same. Not much happening. So, yeah. Same old, same old. The only thing we did that we normally do not do that often, my husband and I did organize a little bit in-house. Now we started cleaning out the basement, so yeah, it was necessary. Because, well, as I said before, we just piled everything in there and, well, didn't look back to it. So yeah, as I am now wanting to work on my pergamano for Cal from Cal's Crafts, how to call it, anything mermaid along. I want to have a space where I can just put everything and leave it out to dry, or anything with paint for that matter, and don't need to worry about kitty paws and kid hands, because I don't want sticky fingers throughout my house. They're sticky enough as is, so don't want them sticky with paint. So yeah, and we have actually quite a big basement because, well, literally our entire house has a basement underneath. So it's actually more like a extra floor to our house. And like, we have one part that's about a quarter of our house that is only reachable from the outside, so that's where our gardening stuff is at. Anything gardening, plants, and that kind of stuff related is in there. About the same size we have indoors. That's where our staircase also is to go down there, and that is where our storage and laundry room is. And then from there you can also go to the next room, which is like literally the half of our basement, and that is only storage. And it looks like there exploded a bomb, like quite literally. So yeah, it's a mess there. Now we have quite a number of collections. Well, collections. We have a DVD collection that was completely taking up like 6 racks on our wall. We put that on 3. Also my collection of cookbooks stands also there now. Then we have everything like, how to call it? Yeah, what's the word? Like screwdrivers, hammers, and that kind of stuff. Electric and hand tools. The tools, that was the word I was looking for. So everything like tools and that kind of stuff is all there. My crafting supplies are all there. The Christmas decorations, well, all seasonal decorations I can better say. And so yeah, the games, also some stuff for the kids. So yeah, it's quite a big collection of stuff. Like just thrown in boxes and almost like open the door and throw it in. So yeah, it was necessary to clean. I have a table there, especially for crafting and even if necessary doing like office work, but yeah, that hasn't been used in like 2 years, so I hope to do that in like a week or 2 or 3. So yeah, you probably will see me working on a dark brown black table then, instead of my regular brown one. So once you see that, I'm in my basement. And yeah, that's basically like anything out of the ordinary. The rest is most of the times like the usual. Well, little one is kind of fussy lately. Last couple of days, like yesterday, put him in bed at 7:30, and what was it, 9:30 or something? He started crying and crying and crying. Well, I can better say screaming bloody murder. And whatever I did, I couldn't get him back to sleep. It took me like an hour and a half. The day before it was the same, so hopefully he now sleeps. And sleeps at least till like 11. So I can at least film this. So if all of a sudden I stop filming and then I'm back, you know why. Or if you even hear something screaming just before I pause my video. Can be that I am then, well, needing to wait till tomorrow or something. So yeah, hopefully it will stay okay, but yeah, can't promise anything. So yeah, I hope you had a more eventful week than I did. And hopefully eventful in a positive way. Because yeah, it's not fun if you have a week with only misery. So I'd rather have a boring week than like a week with only crap stuff happening. So I hope it's all good for you too. Oh, well, basically that's it. So yeah. My husband is master at coming up with some crazy stuff. So, well, yeah. I'm sorry, I needed to check if I am filming or not. I was not sure if I pressed the record button. So, again, not the first time I do that. Yeah, I will say my husband is good at thinking about crazy stuff. Because we were, like, 1 or 2 weeks ago, we were talking about birds. I don't know how we came up with it, but it was that, like how birds are called in the Netherlands, so in Dutch, versus in English. Which made me laugh quite hysterically. Because we have the simple ones, like, or at least for me it's a simple one, because we have them like, I don't know how many. The sparrows. Here we call them a huismus, or een huismus. That's a sparrow. Literally translated, it is a, well, a mus is a sparrow, so it's more like a home sparrow. So that's always fun. A magpie we call here an ekster. An owl is an uil, and so on, so on. And then we were thinking about meesjes. Well, then we found out a mees in English is called a tit. So you can quite imagine that we were like, wait, what? And we have koolmeesjes and pimpelmeesjes, which apparently are, I don't know which one is which, but are blue tits and grit tits. So yeah. Again, we were laughing hysterically. Today, my husband came up with the funny fact that peanut butter can be called peanut butter here. We call it pindakaas, which translates to peanut cheese. The fun fact about it is that you can't call peanut butter here for the simple reason that butter is a protected name for like literally only the regular butters, like the ones made with milk. So if it is like an actual butter, you can call it butter, well, boter. But well, as peanut butter isn't a butter, you can't call it that, so they call it peanut cheese, pindakaas. And as I am told by at least my mother-in-law, she told me that apparently Dutch peanut butter and the, well, typical American stuff is like way different. We have more like a less sweet version, a more chunky. And apparently I never tried the like actual American version, but it apparently is like kind of soft and smooth and quite sweet. But ours is not that sweet. Well, yeah, it's still sweet, but not sugary sweet. So yeah. Don't know if that's true, but maybe you know. If you actually tried both, let me know. Because, well, yeah, I can tell you something, but I don't know for sure. It's only hearsay. But yeah. How long? Oh, there. 12 minutes. Okay. Let's grab a somewhat bigger color. Let's see. Color 7. 900. Sorry, needing to find my color. So yeah, back to the peanut butter. We actually have a saying here that involves peanut butter. So that's kind of fun. The saying is, helaas pindakaas. The literal translation is, oh well, peanut butter. Which you can use as like a, oh well, in case of like, you have bought lottery tickets and you haven't won this week. So you're like, oh, didn't win the lottery. Well, oh well, here it is. Ik heb de loterij niet gewonnen. Helaas, pindakaas. So yeah. So, oh well, you can use here, well, you can translate here to helaas pindakaas. So it's actually quite fun. So when we were thinking about it, we then just grabbed a couple of Dutch sayings that are to us kind of normal, which if you are then translating them are like, wait, what? That's odd. So I grabbed I believe I had 5. Yeah, 5 of them. Well, I said the first, the oh well, peanut butter, helaas, pindakaas. That's the first. We have another one involving monkeys. The Dutch saying is, nu komt de aap uit de mouw, which translates literally to, now comes the monkey out of the sleeve. So yeah, you can imagine that if you're translating it, it indeed is like, wait, what? monkey out of a sleeve. Where the fudge is that coming from? Well, nu komt de aap uit de mouw is dus meaning that finally show something, or something is showing the real meaning of something. Like if you're visiting someone just for asking them something, when you're like, oh, by the way, now I'm here, then the monkey's coming out of the sleeve. Like, well, that's why you're here. In that kind of situations, like, oh, now for that you're here. Now the monkey comes out of the sleeve. So I hope you kind of understand. I'm trying to give like a little bit of an explanation about how to use them. So if you're just wanting to randomly use it, you kind of know what kind of situations you need to use them, because otherwise it would be quite odd. Which one? There was one we have that. We have actually now 3 in a row with animals. We now have van een mug een olifant maken, which is translated to English to make an elephant out of a mosquito. Which is like making something seem bigger than it is. Like, for instance, let's see, what's the best way to put it? Like when a fisherman catches a fish, but well, he hasn't proof of how big it was. And it was a fish of like 10 centimeters. It's all of a sudden like, oh, it was a fish of like a meter and so on and so on. It was so big, and well, that's making an elephant out of a mosquito. Making something, well, making it more impressive, you can also almost say. In Britain, they apparently have quite a similar expression. You might have heard that one. Making a mountain out of a molehill. It's actually the same. Well, you can, if you don't know the expression, you can get why. A molehill isn't that big, but if you make it a mountain, it's all of a sudden impressive. So yeah, that is van een mug een olifant maken. So making an elephant out of a mosquito. Then the last one with animals today, we have over koetjes en kalfjes praten. Talking about cows and veals. So yeah, kind of a random one, talking about cows and veals. Which actually just means chit-chatting, making small talk. Just, well, kind of what I'm doing here. I'm just talking about cows and veals. Ik ben gewoon over koetjes en kalfjes aan het praten. And then the last one that I have written down here today for you is lachen als een boer met kiespijn. Which translates to smiling like a farmer with a toothache. As you might have expected, it is faking a smile. It is a very, very, very clear fake smile. Well, fake laugh, actually more. Laugh or smile, doesn't matter. Either one will count. Just because you have to act like you're funny. We all know those awkwardly situations where somebody tells a joke and you will feel like you have to laugh, but you actually don't think it's funny. So then you're well, then you are aan het lachen als een boer met kiespijn. You're smiling like a farmer with a toothache. So yeah. Yeah, random, I know. But yeah, actually like the Dutch language is like full of these. There are like sayings that do have similarities in like the English language. Like, for instance, the first that comes to mind is again one with animals. I don't know why animals pop up in sayings that often, but here we say, het is hondenweer. In English, you say it's dog weather. Well, it's translated as dog weather. It's raining cats and dogs. That's the proper one. It was like, the moment I said it, it was like, no, that's the translation. What was the original? So, literal translation is dog weather. The actual translation, like how you use it, is it's raining cats and dogs. Why it rains cats or dogs, I have no clue. Why it is dog weather, I also have no clue. Maybe because dogs like them? I have no idea. I seriously have no idea. But yeah, there are like so many more of these weird sayings. I actually thought I would have more to say about them. Because we're now only at 22 minutes, so well, I need to improvise a little bit again. I'm rambling too quickly. Excuse me. Let's see, what is something that can be quite interesting to you? Well, maybe you want to know from what part of the Netherlands I am from. Because, well, I am obviously saying quite often that I am from the Netherlands. But I am from the south part in Limburg, which is the province. And I am from I don't know if it's a city or town. I guess town. Let's call it a town for now. Don't know for sure. Don't know when it qualifies as a city, or town, or whatever. The place I live in. The place I live in is Brunsum. And if you have military people in your family, you might actually know the place. Because we have the NATO base here. It's actually like visible from like all around here. Because they have like a huge big tower standing somewhere on the train. You can see that thing from like almost everywhere you are. As long as you have like a little bit of an overview. When you're in the city center, you probably can't see it just because it has a lot of big buildings around it. Not extremely big, but like 4 or 5 stories. But you can see that thing from quite far away, so it's always, if you're in the direction, easy to aim in Brunsum. You can find the place from like everywhere. But yeah, we have NATO base, and it's actually one of, I believe, 3 NATO bases in Europe. Like headquarter bases, I better say. And we also are like almost across the border from the, well, I don't know how you pronounce them in English, but we call them AWACS. Those satellite dish plane things that people here in the neighborhood can quite often complain about. But we have one of those bases like a couple of kilometers over the border with Germany. And I can actually, from the place where I live, well, from our house, I can better say, I can actually see planes come up like from behind trees. So it's kind of close. I can also look onto the NATO base. So yeah, we're close to it. So yeah, like if you have family that is in the military or you're in the military and you or them have been stationed in the Netherlands, big chance you have been in my neighborhood. But yeah, we have quite a lot of, well, foreigners, I can better say, like at least people that are not from the Netherlands live here. So it's almost like if you want to ask directions or want to ask someone something on the street. That was a difficult sentence to get out of my mouth. But if you want to ask like a random person on the street something, you almost start wondering here like, okay, do I need to ask in Dutch or in English? Because, well, the amount of people that don't talk Dutch here is almost the same as the people that do. Always fun. I did work at the subway here for like 2 months or so. And sometimes you're like, in Dutch, like, what do you want to have? And they're like, huh? What? You're like, just looking like a deer in headlights. And then you ask them the same question in English and it's like, oh, that please. So yeah, it's always fun to like figure out which language to use. But you get used to it. Eventually. But yeah, that's kind of what I like about living here in this region. It is way more diverse than where I grew up. I grew up like, for Dutch standards, quite a big way away. I originally grew up in a place, well, where obviously probably no one ever heard about. But the place is called Buddeldorp. Like a tiny place, about 70 kilometers, I think, away from here. For like American standards, that's around the corner, almost. At least if you're like way out in the middle of nowhere. But for us, it's quite a big part because you're like almost like halfway through the country. No, well, it's not that extreme. It's not like we are going to France that are almost literally at the other end of the country, but yeah. More than 50 kilometers here is for many people like quite a big trip. Here it's normal to have to ride like 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes from point A to point B. So yeah, then needing to travel like 45 minutes. That's a big trip. So yeah, I actually do like it here because, well, we live in kind of the hills of the Netherlands. Well, not we have actually mountains or something, but you can call it hills. It is kind of close to Maastricht. Actually, my sister-in-law works in Maastricht. So yeah, it's an okay distance to travel. What else do we have here close by? We have an amazing zoo. We have Gaia Zoo here. So if you are in the neighborhood, definitely go to there because it's amazing. We also have like a lot of small places that are like amazing. We do have quite a big nature. Well, I almost want to say park, but it isn't a nature park like well, like you have in the States. It is the Brunsumer Heide. And it is like an amazing place. It's like forest and open space, and I don't know how you call those things in English, but when it blooms, it's all purple there. it's literally, it's amazing. It's beautiful. I will try if I can find a picture of the Brunsumer Heide and put it in here somewhere. But it's actually where my husband and I got married, so it always has a special place in my heart. It's actually, well, the day he asked me to be his girlfriend, we did walk across the Brunsumer Heide beforehand. So that's where we started out. Then he actually asked me to marry him, also on the Brunsumer Heide. So we were like, when we did look to venues, we actually almost immediately wanted to go there. So yeah, it all worked out in the end. And we got married there. And it's now like almost 5 years ago. So yeah, time flies, especially with little kids. But if you have kids, you probably know that. Don't need to say it to you. But let's see how long I'm rambling now. This is 33 minutes. I think that's good enough for now. So yeah. I hope you like this rambling and Dutch sayings. If you have like American sayings and you want to know if we have Dutch equal, or how it is translated the other way around, like how a saying that is normal in English will be completely strange when you translate it to Dutch, well, just let me know. I can try to figure it out. And if you have any other questions, you can always ask them in the comment section down below. Or if you just want to have a little chat, that's always possible. Love to read your comment. I am one that does not comment myself quite often, because most of the times when I'm listening to WIP and chats, I am working on my on my diamond painting as well. And as you might know, I do record almost everything for my time lapses, so it isn't the easiest to start typing, and I most of the times don't know what to type, as I don't know what to say either, so I'm a bit of a socially awkward person, so yeah. But I still love getting comments, so I always try my best to comment. If you have a question, answer it, or if you want to have it answered in a video, I'll do that. But otherwise, even if it's just a basic, I had some people comment like, just very simple, like, I like your videos. Well, then at least I like to give them a thumbs up or a heart or something, so at least you know that I read your comment. And yeah, at least I try to do that. But for the most part, I will at least try to make like a little bit of a bigger answer, because I have the time for it, because I most of the times don't have that many views. But that's okay, I'm just a teeny tiny channel and I'm doing it for my own fun. Well, a little bit for your entertainment, but big part for my own, so yeah. So again, like, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. That makes, well, it means a lot to me, because, well, that makes YouTube likes me better. If you're a creator, you probably know what I mean. If you don't, there probably will be a lot of people saying it means a lot, but literally it means a lot, because, yeah, the YouTube algorithm is a funny thing. And a pain in the behind, but yeah. let's spare that detail. But yeah, I hope you liked it and that you would consider giving it a thumbs up. Maybe even if you haven't already subscribed. But hey, don't need to just because I asked. But it would mean the world to me. But I hope to see you another time. So, bye.